And next up, we have Khatira.
I just realized the funny thing that always happens right before you want to deliver a speech, you also remember that you need to pee. So I don't know what you call that. All right. So speaking of policy, YPP is yet the most important implemented policy so far that gives voice for policies that needs to be changed. So I'm really grateful to be one of those voices here. Once I was scrolling through YouTube and an ad appeared. A child from Gaza said, "I want to be like the other kids." That simple sentence broke me. It took me back to when I arrived in Canada 6 years ago at 14 alone, navigating the foster care system amidst the trauma, no English as they say, loneliness I was feeling. For 3 years, I lived in foster homes. Every day, I wished for the same thing. I want to be like the other kids. For me, home was where nightmares sometimes became reality in foster care. My foster sister and I lived in fear of our foster mom. I remember one specific night, running to my room, locking the door, while my foster mom was pounding on the door and screaming, "Open the door, open the door." Right after that year, I was diagnosed with panic attack because living in fear, not at home, does that to you. Today, when I saw that ad, I realized why I always wanted to be like the other kids. Kids who are loved, who have a safe place to call home, who are seen and heard. Every second of my childhood, I had to act to be an adult just to protect myself. That is why the policy that I'm advocating here today is very personal. Thousands of children in British Columbia's foster care system, including Indigenous children, are still wishing to be like the other kids. The system is not broken because we don't care. The system is broken because there's a lack of awareness, oversight, and support. Foster care is often provided by the overworked, undertrained individuals with minimal qualifications. In some cases, being 19 and a Canadian is all you need to become a foster parent. Any of you can be a foster parent right now, just so you know. While many foster parents want to help, they often do so without the proper training, regular check-ins, and sometimes without even a completed background check. In regions like East Fraser, over 30% of foster homes are placed children before any background checks were done. So, skipping this basic safety measures puts children in danger. This could be your children as well. But it's more than background checks, because mandatory behavioral assessments and ongoing trainings are often neglected completely. In one audit of Northwest BC, none of the foster parents had completed mandatory training that was for how basically foster care works, not for you how to be a better foster mom. Imagine sending vulnerable children who already have trauma or are traumatized into homes where caregivers lack the tools to help them heal. This lack of oversight results in neglect, and sometimes even worse. In East Fraser, audit revealed files where no home visit have been done in 3 years. Can you just imagine that? 3 years without checking if a child is safe. Imagine the fear and isolation that child is feeling. But if it's your own children, people who are parents here, you literally swear that you would drive your kids crazy from checking in on them. Am I right? So why there's a gap in how children should be treated and cared for? But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. We can do something about it. The audit shows the path forward. The audits are the research. Regular inspections, data tracking, and supporting social workers, raising standards for foster parents' qualification, and background checks, prevents mistakes and saves the lives of those children. These are, I swear, these are not difficult tasks. They are what every children deserves. Your children deserve. Children in foster care are not just statistics. They are future leaders, doctors, artists, teachers, premier, and the job that you do right now here, they will be doing one day. So by committing to inspections and accountability, implementing the necessary policy mentioned above, we can create a system where children don't just have to survive, they thrive, dream, and be the best they can be. I'm standing here today not just because I want to be like the other kids anymore. I'm fighting for change so that one day, if I have children, they will be safe and loved if they ever ended in foster care. And I'm standing here for Indigenous children who continue to suffer in the system. This is part of truth and reconciliation, and it is time for change. We want a system of care and love and safety, not a system of negligence that does the bare minimum. We can do this, not by blaming each other, not by blaming the past, but by believing the future where every child is seen, heard, and loved, where they don't have to live in the mantra of wishing to be like the other kids. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khatira. Really appreciate that. And next up.